Oh, Malcolm Turnbull has done it again. He had this ridiculous mailed plebiscite for same-sex marriage set up so that we could avoid having controversy regarding this particular issue. And as usual, everything that Malcolm touches turns to you-know-what, and it's happened again. As soon as the ballot papers are sent out, we have a major controversy occurring in Canberra with a woman, an employer, sacking an employee over this particular issue, the issue that Malcolm Turnbull got his top silk, George Brandis, the Attorney General, to draft emergency legislation just to avoid exactly this sort of stuff happening. And of course, as usual, like virtually everything that Turnbull has touched is totally ineffectual. So here we go. This is the situation. The business owner of a children's party business who sacked one of her workers for promoting the no vote has had a Facebook post deleted for apparently causing hate speech. It comes as she cops a series of abusive messages and death threats herself. The 18-year-old worker, who has been identified only by her first name, Madeleine, was let go as a contractor by the Canberra small business for posting a Facebook profile picture with the filter saying it's okay to vote no. Capital Kids Parties business owner, Madeleine Sims, said she fired Madeleine because advertising your desire to vote no for same-sex marriage is, in my eyes, hate speech. Sure thing, Madeleine. It comes after Madeleine told press yesterday that she is very hurt about being fired. I am in complete shock, Madeleine told Triple J's Hack yesterday. Some people see my views as bigoted. I did understand where she was coming from, but when I wasn't able to explain myself to her because she had blocked me, I felt even more hurt, Madeleine said. Now she's referring to Madeleine, her boss, who wouldn't even give her the chance to reply. Talk about bullying. I just wanted to let her know why I was voting no, and I wanted to ask her why she would discriminate against me and not have tolerance for my views. I think it's very unfair. And I agree with you, Madeleine. I think it's extremely unfair too, but it's typical of these left-wing zealots who are pushing this no agenda. They don't want debate. They can't handle debate because they're illogical, as you will find out soon enough as I go through this story, that people like Madeleine Sims just want to control what you think and say. They don't want to vote and they don't want to debate. Further on, a Christian teenager who was sacked for saying on Facebook she would vote no for same-sex marriage is entitled to make a legal claim under discrimination law, legal experts say. So it looks as though Madeleine may have some redress here in a legal sense. Of course, she should have that redress through George Brandis's freedom-clipping laws, emergency laws to protect us all from the evils of this particular vote. But of course, we haven't heard a word from George, have we? Big surprise. Madeleine, who said she was not afraid to stand up for my beliefs, is now entitled to make a claim under Section 7 of the ACT Discrimination Act 1991, which includes political conviction and religious conviction amongst protected attributes. Mark Fowler, an adjunct associate professor of law at the University of Notre Dame, said it was unlikely Madeleine would have grounds for a claim of unfair dismissal under the Commonwealth Fair at Work Act if she was an independent contract worker. Well, that's convenient for Madeleine Sims, isn't it? As her former employee has claimed. Had she been an employee, she would likely have had grounds for a claim of unfair dismissal unless she was a new employee under a probation period. Here's another angle to this particular story. Angry Aussies are sending abusive messages to the wrong people when it comes to the same-sex marriage vote. It's been revealed a children's party business has been on the receiving end of vulgar voicemails after members of the public mistook it for the business owned by Madeleine Sims. In a bizarre twist, the same business copying the inadvertent abuse has offered the fired no voter a job. despite harassment from the public. Josh, who asked only to be identified by his first name, told news.com.au his business, Canberra Kids Parties, had quite a few unknown numbers leaving voicemails rattling off abuse and messages. In one voicemail, a man was calling her everything under the sun, he said. Ms. Sims' business has a remarkably similar name, capital Kids Parties. One voicemail, which was supplied to news.com.au, called Ms. Sims a disgusting, intolerant you-know-what. The caller did not identify themselves as a yes or no voter. The calls became so problematic, the business posted a plea on Facebook declaring, "We are not involved with capital Kids Parties or Madeleine Sims." Madden's political views. After having the experience of making the decision to fire a contractor for differing political views, her concern pertains to the rights of the individuals she works with and the people she does business with. Really? In essence, she is a rational progressive. Oh, is she really? What the hell is that? In the instance of the homophobic contractor, she could possibly sympathise with the people who hold such views, but in the end, science wins the argument. Weird science, maybe. That's about the only science I can see. An 18-year-old Christian nanny who was sacked for coming out against same-sex marriage says there are many other young people who share her views but are too afraid to speak out. Take note, Madeleine, you're a bully and you're scaring people. Are you proud of that? And now for some more madness from Canberra. Construction is about to begin on the controversial 2.5 metre steel security fence outside Canberra's Parliament House. 6 months after senators signed off on the fence, crews finally erected temporary metal fences around the front lawn ramps of Parliament House today so construction could begin. The new fence, part of the $126.7 million security upgrade, will be built 3/4 of the way up the lawns. And this is in the light of politicians telling us that we should just go on living our lives normally, not worrying about the security, just being a little more vigilant. But when there's no word about us having to pay for high-tech security for us, only for our pampered politicians. A little bit of hypocrisy here? Double standards, anyone?